So I did a video with my reaction to the rumors, to the leaks of Half-Life 2 Alyx. Lo and behold, days later, we have an actual official trailer for Half-Life Alyx. Now, in my video, I discussed the fact that I wasn't looking forward to this. That it's VR. I don't own any VR equipment. I will never own any VR equipment. I don't like gimmicks. I don't enjoy gimmicks. I don't like the Wii's motion controls. I don't even like the gyroscope stuff so much on the Switch. You know, it's okay. I enjoyed playing it in Let's Go Pikachu. You know, certain aspects of it, the Kinect, you know, these things just don't work. But for some reason, tech companies, you know, video game developers, movie studios, whatever it may be, they're obsessed with old technology. Virtual reality. This is something that they've been hacking away at since the 80s. The same thing when it came to 3D movies, 3D televisions. And people still like to say, oh, no. VR is great. So people downvoted my video. They also did the same thing to the Quartering when he broke the story. He was like the first one to get the news. And sure enough, days later, we had a trailer. So we have the trailer, so I might as well react to the trailer. It looks good. I mean, this is something that I would play, given that I could play it on a console or normally on a PC. I mean, you know, but instead, I have to play this through VR equipment, which is going to greatly reduce my enjoyment of it. So it seems like everything is there. The humor. The odd thing that's being said about this game, though, is the fact that it takes place, you know, between Half-Life and Half-Life 2, but they're saying that it's not a side game. But it sort of is. Maybe they mean that it's not like, you know, like a deviation from the main story or anything like that. Like it's like supposed to be a bridge. But we don't want to see that part of the story. And people who are saying that they do want to see that part of the story, they're being desperate. They want a new game. I get it. So do I. But I want the game that we were pretty much promised. See, everyone else, I don't know why this is. And people were very passionate about this. 75% of the people who watched my video, they don't quote me on that math, but they downvoted the video. I had something like 51 likes as opposed to like 100 and like something dislikes. So, you know, I don't know. I just don't know why people are so passionate about it. When I was actually trying to, in that video, to try to speak for you guys, and I guess people didn't appreciate that, I run VR. I get it. And, you know, and I'm not here to hate on anyone that wants VR, that enjoys VR. Good for you. If you enjoy VR and you're looking forward to Half-Life Alyx, I hope you enjoy it. So, you know, like I said, I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong, but I'm here to give my opinion. So I never really understand that people, they dislike the video because they dislike the opinion. I thought it was a pretty good opinion because I'm here saying that for years and years we're teased, you know, and they try to make like they're making Half-Life 3. Oh, it's coming, you know, and then we get something totally different than what has been talked about for over a decade and a half already. So, you know, you can pretty much tell why I might be a little bit annoyed, that other people are annoyed. The 51 people that liked the video agreed with me and thought that I had something worthy to say. So, when I watched the trailer, you know, you get to take control of Alyx, and, you know, her father is still alive. He died at the hands of the Combine at the end of Half-Life 2, Episode 2. And so, you know, that was the last thing we saw. It was a big cliffhanger. You know, Gordon was there, and he had to watch this, you know, as Alyx clutched at her father's body as he, you know, breathed his last breath. And, you know, it was sad, it was depressing, and we couldn't wait to see the conclusion to that story. I played it on the orange box on my Xbox 360, and I enjoyed every moment of it, and I liked that episodic approach. So the next step was going to be Half-Life 3. So, but you see it. Like I said, you know, all the humor is there. The graphics look beautiful and everything. The only thing is that really is disturbing here is that there's a pair of hands that are disembodied and they're like floating there and they're going to be doing everything. See, like, I don't get it. Like in Half-Life, when you saw Gordon Freeman's arms, they were like attached. So I don't get it. Like, this is VR, so why do the hands have to be detached? This reminds me of one of those corny, you know, hokey, you know, Virtual Boy games. Remember the Virtual Boy? You had that boxing game with the disembodied boxing glove hands. This is like the same thing. I don't get that. So like, if in virtual reality, my hands would be disembodied, like, is anyone watching this and saying like, this could be better? This is not exactly what we want. And look, I will probably check out like a live stream of this game because I want to see the story. I'm interested in hearing the voice acting. You already hear the voices. You see that that the G-Man is in it. G-Man comes out at the end, and you know, you've got this nice high res you know, character model of him, and he's always been an intriguing, mysterious character. So anything we get on the G-Man is, you know, is appealing to me. But it's like this game. It's like I thought that people were sick of gimmicks, but apparently not. To me, I say that these people are gluttons for punishment. They want constant gimmicks all the time. And you know what it is? This is what I'm thinking, at least. That people don't care how they get Half-Life. They just want Half-Life. And I appreciate that. And I understand. You will take Half-Life in any way, shape, or form. It's just, I don't know, I kind of misjudged the fans. I thought that they'd be a little bit more pissed because they weren't getting the Half-Life that they want and were promised. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you an entitled fan because you waited for something for years and years and you're getting something totally different than what you expected. And the thing was, Valve has a very big team. This is not like they're strapped for employees. They're definitely not strapped for cash. They own Steam. It's just that they were dragging their feet, dragging their knuckles on the floor because they don't really need to make Half-Life to make money. And I get that. But every now and again, you would have different people from Valve teasing Half-Life 3. And all of a sudden, they get the big idea that they're not going to make Half-Life 3, that they're going to do, you know, a little, you know, bridging gap story. And this is like something like Half-Life and Half-Life 2 didn't really need anything to be bridged. The thing that needed to be bridged was what the cliffhanger that you left us with Half-Life 2. Episode 2. You know, it's like you're not intrigued enough to finish your own story, but you're like, you know what? We've been gone for a decade and a half. Why don't we just make a little, you know, a different game than what everyone is expecting? And I get it. Ooh, swerve! You know, you're giving somebody something different than what they thought. That could be exciting. That could be refreshing. That could be new. But it is pretty clear and it is pretty evident that a lot of people wanted Half-Life 3. And you're only getting a positive reaction, Valve, because people really love Half-Life. I really love Half-Life. But I'm going to be honest here. I wanted Half-Life 3. Look, I get it. This is the time when people are really pushing playing the female character. And I get it. You're capitalizing on that. That's what you want to do. See, and that has to be brought into the discussion because it has a little something to do with that. They also really want to sell more units for their VR equipment. And that's why a lot of people got mad at the quartering also. You don't have to buy Valve's, VR equipment to play this game. You could use like any type of VR equipment. I get it. But like, it still remains that you have to play this with VR equipment. If you could do that as an option, I'd be fine with it. I would probably be praising this game. But I would still get on them about the fact that they're not giving us Half-Life 3. We're not getting a true sequel. And the thing that kills me is people are just fine with that. They're A-okay with the fact that after all that talk about Half-Life 3, that the game that they present us with is not Half-Life 3. And you know what I mean? I get it. People that bought VR equipment, they want a good game for it. But that should show you that VR is not really stimulating people's creativity. It's a technology that's not that easy to work with. It's kind of a weird thing. And, it's been proven throughout time that VR really doesn't work. I think people want it to work. They're fascinating on it. They're fascinated with it. People who are fans of Tron really like VR. They like the concept. It's very futuristic. But, it's been proven already. It doesn't really work. It's sold well. I can't take that away from the numbers. Facts are facts. But VR is not something that's easy to work with. And there's numerous examples of, things with motion controls and stuff like that. Things that don't involve you playing with a controller have not really worked throughout time. The only thing where they managed to make some success was with the Wii. Because they managed to really attract casuals with that. But, when it comes to Half-Life, you're talking about hardcore gamers. This is a game for hardcore gamers. This is not for casuals. This is a game for serious gamers. So, I don't know what they're going for here. Like I said, this seems like a really well-made game from a visual and voice acting perspective and from a story perspective. It looks like they're giving it their all. And that part I really like. But the fact that this is on a very unappealing piece of equipment and they're not giving us, what people really deep down want. Look, and people were saying, oh, this is going to be an appetizer for Half-Life 3. Guys, I would not hold my breath. You guys want Half-Life? Well, here you go. Here's Half-Life. But it's not the Half-Life you want. It's, the Half-Life that we're going to give you because we want to sell more VR units. I feel like they're doing it more as a marketing ploy than genuinely giving you a great game. Because if it really was like a passion project, then I feel like they would have just made Half-Life 3. I feel like this is a quick cash grab, if anything. But we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of things that are going to determine, if this is a great game or not. How well it controls, how well the story is told, how long it is. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different factors that are going to contribute to, how I view this game. So there you go, guys. There's my thoughts on the trailer. I hope you all enjoyed what I had to say here. I'm sure I'll get a lot of dislikes. Hopefully I get some thumbs up and people appreciate what I had to say here today. But guys, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you get all notifications when I post all my new videos. And guys, I'll see you next time.